So let's see. I've got it on the stream now, my display. Mm, Armed and Dangerous evolved limited time event. The Armed and Dangerous limited time mode has evolved. In this limited time mode, only shotguns and snipers are allowed. Okay, that's the same as the last one, right?
Mm.
And you will also start with a Mozambique and Evo armor. That's cool. All other armor has been removed from the loot pool, but that's not all. Respawn beacons will also be removed, and all players will start with mobile. Basically, cancel everything. Okay, this man is a picky, picky man when it comes to his reactions. Whoops. Okay, there. So, and we have mobile respawn beacon. So my question with this, I want to know. I'm curious as to if they're treating the mobile respawn beacons like how they were treating the Evo shields, where they kind of like trial and error it in like a limited time mode, and then they fully integrate it into the regular game. What do you think, Zach?
I mean, it sounds like they're not. It sounds like it's going to be part of the patch, and it's going to be something you carry in your inventory. I assume they're going to limit it to one.
Well, it says in the armed and dangerous limited time mode, players will start the match with one in their inventory. So right now, it sounds
Yeah.
like it's
So,
exclusive to the mode.
so I'm thinking, do they mean in modes outside of armed and dangerous? So like standard deployment, you can find one on the map
Hmm.
somewhere, and you keep one in your inventory.
Esme just donated $10, a little something so you can quit your job and just stream for a living. Thank you,
Nice.
Esme. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Uh, everyone, give a good little round of applause for Esme. Thank you. I'm trying, Esme. I'm trying. $10 isn't what I need, but it's definitely a good start. I appreciate it. Um, Ability for Lifeline or Path? Not Path. Pathfinder is strong. Pathfinder. I would think Lifeline having a mobile respawn beacon, that should be her ultimate. Screw her stupid loot crate. You know what I mean? Like her ultimate was strong when the game came out because the loot pool was so scarce. People forget that when the game launched, Kings Canyon had really shitty loot, and having a purple shield was actually like a thing. It was like really strong. But now there's so many purple shields. There's so many ways to. You have an Evo shield now. Now the loot pools kind of become diluted, and there's so many different ways to level up your armor and stuff. Her it's like decent. It's like a mid pack, like a C or B level like ultimate. But if she, I would much rather have a mobile respawn beacon.
Yeah.
That would be
I,
super strong.
I wish that they would get rid of random shields entirely, with the exception of yellow shields. I think every shield should be an Evo shield. You have to work on leveling it up. Just because I think it's not fair to drop in an area, someone gets a purple shield right away, you can't find a shield. It's just not fair.
I mean, in my opinion, that's just kind of like the foundation of battle royales. It depends how they want it to be. You know, if they want to really take it towards the skill based area, that would make sense to have everyone start with an Evo.
Yep.
But I mean, there's always potential for outplay. Like you can out because to be fair, like shields aren't so strong if you get a decent gun and you have decent playability. You know, like for example, that Watson that I killed that last game, she had a purple Evo, and I think I had a blue or maybe a white shield, and I killed her. I had a Mastiff, and I three shotted her. You know what I mean? I outplayed her. So there's
Mhm.
outplay potential with the shields. I understand that when you drop, it sucks. Obviously, when you drop and you get a fucking Mozambique in a syringe, and your boy gets and the person you're fighting gets a purple shield and a R9, you're like, well, this is going to be a tough game. But that's kind of like how the cookie crumbles. There's ways to play around that. You can watch where you're flying into. You know, sometimes it's unavoidable. You can communicate with your team, and hopefully they can 2v1, and then you even it up a little bit. You know, um, I like the diversity um, in the shields. I just think that Lifeline's ultimate needs to be revised just because the way the loot pool is now, since there's so many more shields and like getting a purple shield isn't as hard as it used to be when the game launched, that we need to relook at that. But Will has said that they are getting loot crates getting a buff, so maybe we'll talk about that later in the patch notes.
Interesting.
So Crypto Town Takeover. Crypto is taking over and providing some recon to Kings Canyon. Located at the southeast of the map under Repulsor. Okay. That's where like that used to be. This used to be pretty much nothing. There used to be like a jump tower here outside of Repulsor. It was like a very lame rotation area. So I like that they're doing something with it. Um, Lies Crypto's map room. Use his tech to get the location of all the legends on the map and check the screens scattered around the room to see how many enemy squads are nearby. That's actually super cool. Ooh,
Yeah.
this is about to be the Crypto patch. That's hella cool. All the legends.
I was gonna say, so I assume this means any legend can use this, right? Not just crypto.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, any legend can use it.
Yep.
Dude, this is gonna be like hunting the freaking the champion. Just like you're gonna see what the banner was, and you're gonna go on this. You're like, "Where's the champion squad?" And you're just gonna go murder them. That's fun. Heirloom Mirage.
So
Go ahead.
I think it'll be interesting to see how many teams will split up. So you have one person that stays at the crypto tower, and then maybe two go out, hunting for a team, and they communicate. So the one in tower is communicating back to the team of two, saying, okay, this team is here. And I wonder if it's going to show as much detail as if teams are split apart.
Right. For me, I don't really see that because that sounds like unless they're like in the immediate area, just because you're at such a disadvantage 2v3, like that just seems like you just be intentionally crippling yourself. I think it would be a smarter way to use it is to see where people aren't looting. Because if, let's say you have a bad drop, you go there, you want to know where to rotate to, and you can use this. Say where are the majority of players at, and where's somewhere I can rotate to have safe loot. I mean, intel is always good, and there's various ways that you can use the intel. You got to be creative with it, but that's what immediately came to me. Is like obviously it's cool to spy on people, but also it's like I want to loot more if I'm like feeling weak, or if I'm feeling really strong. I don't know what kind of information you're gonna get, but if you get any sort of like loot information, like this squad's on white shields and they're over here, they're not too far away. Let's see if we can go get them. You know, that seems like a decent use case for the Crypto Town takeover.
Can you imagine what this is going to be like when In-Ring is in this location too? Like that just is a huge buff.
Yeah, that's a cool. I really like that. That's cool, and it creates another point of interest on the map that people can fight over and have some action. You know. Mirage's trophy is, I feel like if you really like the character of Mirage, you will like his trophy. If you don't really care about Mirage, you think the heirloom's stupid. So for me, I get why they did it. I personally am not that fond of it, and I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the first heirloom that doesn't match up with a traditional weapon either. So
yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that.
This heirloom is very reminiscent of Condemned, that game on Xbox where you were like a detective and you killed homeless people with lead pipes. Just like you'd grab something random and just beat them with it, and that's what I imagine Mirage doing with his freaking trophies, just beating people with it. Okay, here's the exciting part, guys. This is the legend updates part. Lifeline passive Combat Revive now replaces Combat Medic. Deploy Doc to revive teammates. Doc will deploy a shield and revive Lifeline's teammate, leaving Lifeline free to defend and revive someone else. Question. Here's the real question. Does Lifeline get the shield as well as Doc?
Or if she is reviving someone on her own?
That's the question. I don't think she does.
So her shield, I don't think she does either.
Because it comes out of Doc, right?
By Doc, yeah.
Yeah. So that means when she's reviving, but does she still do a faster revive?
It sounds like no. I mean, it looks like this Doc, revive perk completely replaces all of her fast revive, fast heal.
Yeah, because it says it replaces Lifeline's old passive, including fast heal.
Yep.
So that feels kind of like a nerf. In my opinion, the strongest thing about Lifeline was fast healing. I mean, that's like a gold shield. Like people thought the gold shield was the best thing in the game because you got fast healing. Yep. Lifeline had that innately. Like that's super strong, super strong. Yep. So if I personally, with the way I play the game, wanted to choose between fast healing and a combat medic like that, I would probably choose fast healing. Only
but the ability to, revive
Defend.
someone
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
the shield and be able to defend that spot at the same time is pretty strong.
In my opinion, it's like a shitty version of Gibraltar, though. Like, if you wanted that, why would
Yeah,
you not just pick Gibraltar?
that's
It's the
true.
same fucking thing. It's just shittier because Gibraltar gets covered from every angle.
That's true.
I mean, it's not shittier because it's you don't have to revive the Gibraltar or the shields, the drones reviving for you. So I get it, but at the same time, it seems. Hopefully, I think if they made the shield bigger, maybe that would be a little bit better. But for me, it feels like what would you rather have, Gibraltar's dome or? And oh, that's another thing is you can only use it when someone's knocked, so you're already at a disadvantage. I get it, but Gibraltar's dome you can use whenever, and when you're in it, he revives you faster. So
Well, and
maybe Gibraltar gets nerfed.
I'm wondering how you're going to control the angle too, because I always felt like her shield was kind of wonky to begin with when you revive someone. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to control, which angle you wanted to deploy the shield
Mm.
at. So that'll be interesting to see if they do, make it bigger. Do they like increase the angle so it covers more of an angled area? I feel like there's ways to solve that. Like you could make it almost like a smaller dome, um, but that might make it OP.
Yeah, I never had problems with aiming her shield where I wanted it to go, as long as like the person I'm trying to revive isn't all the way against a wall. You know.
Right, and that's part of
Um.
the problem is you kind of have to coordinate in that sense where
Yeah.
if you have someone who is backed in a corner and they're not moving, they would have to move out in order for you to get behind them, so you can then deploy your shield in front.
And heals faster for Gibby. Yeah, Gibby when he's in his dome, he also has fast heal. So
Yep.
right now, so sometimes when you look at like with the way when you're balancing a game, I'm not saying that Respawn's necessarily doing something wrong here or that these aren't good buffs for Lifeline, but like when I used to play a lot of Dota, there would always be the question is like this hero got buffed, but why would I pick this hero when this hero does what this hero does but better? So Gibraltar still feels like he does what Lifeline does but better, in my opinion. Other than the fact that you can passively revive somebody, it still feels like if you want that combat medic role, Gibraltar does it better. His ultimate's better. He drops a lethal nuke on people. He has a dome shield that your team heals faster in, that you revive faster in, you know? He has an arm shield. He takes less damage.
He takes less damage. Yeah.
Like there's no reason for anybody to if they're playing competitively. If you just like Lifeline, you want to use Lifeline. And we haven't gotten to if Gibraltar's been nerfed yet, but there's still no reason in this state right now, as far as we've gotten in the patch notes, to pick Lifeline over Gibraltar at all. It's just no question. But okay, her
It's true.
care
It's true.
package contains more items. Contains 3 times more small healing items when it decides to spawn small healing items.
I know.
Care package will contain 2 times more attachments when it decides to spawn. It sounds so fickle. Am I gonna spawn attachments this time? I don't know. I haven't
Right.
decided. Let's wait till you open and see what kind of dice I roll. Okay, Octane. Everyone's been talking about Octane. Let's see what Octane does. Upon activation, Stim will remove movement impairing effects.
Oh my
I've
god.
been asking for that for so long, dude. I have been asking for that for so long. That just makes sense. He's freaking got robot legs. What is gas gonna do to his legs?
That's
Not a
crazy.
damn thing. Unless it's sludge, unless it's freaking anti WD 40. The dude's cranking his legs all the time with his wrench. They gotta be in tip top shape. I've been begging for this. Stim sprinting speed is increased by 10%. I said 15% should have been it, but 10% is good too. I'll take it. Ultimate players can double jump in midair. Holy shit, people are good.
I know. That's crazy.
That's Pathfinder though. That's the zip line.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing that's always sucked about Octane is like you try to chase a Pathfinder and Pathfinder can just get higher. You
Yeah.
know? But
That's
now with your jump pad and they can change direction easily from the double jump. Oh, this is going to be so fun. That sounds so fun. And that's what Octane's supposed to be in my opinion. It's just a really fun character. Like how competitive? What does that mean? Willis, what do you mean? Double jump? It means you jump, like when you get launched in the air, usually the way people use is when you launch in the air at the high point of the jump, you can jump again, and I'm sure it's just gonna be the standard jump, but you'll get more lift and you'll have a farther arc, and you can change direction. It sounds like. Whereas if you get to the high point, you hit D, you jump to the right or something like that. You know what I mean? So Octane feels like he's kind of got more of that. I still want to see him to where when he jumps off a building, he doesn't get slowed down. Because I want him never to slow down. Octane just should never be slow. He should always just be zoom, 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 zoom all the time.
So let's talk about movement impairing effects real quick. Does jumping from a building and landing, is that a movement impairing effect? And so the other ones that I'm thinking of as
ooh,
well are, I mean, obviously gas from caustic, and
right,
then arc stars as well, right?
true,
Because
true.
arc stars have what, a 5 second slowdown?
Oh, he wants to know. So Willis wants to know what a movement impairing effect. So movement impairing effect is something that in this game is generally it slows you down. So caustic's gas slows you down. You can't move at full speed when you're going through it, right? Arc stars, when you get hit with an arc star, you know how you're slowed down and you can't run as fast. That's a movement impairing effect. So
And it's hard to aim.
in other games, yeah, it's harder to aim. I don't know if it's going to affect the aim or just the movement speed. In other games, those are like snares, so something that roots you to the ground. You can't move at all. That's a movement impairing effect. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The thing I've been waiting for. Um, Players can change direction easily from the double jump. That's cool. I like the octane changes. All right, Revenant. Willis gave us a sneak peek about Revenant. Uh, Tactical will now cancel Pathfinder mid grapple. Woohoo! You can
Oh,
snipe
interesting.
with your little grenade. Did you read the second one?
Yeah,
Wraith mid phase walk
that's awesome. That's
before
good.
phase
It
walk
makes sense.
activates.
So if
So
she's already
if you
in
hit
phase
Q,
walk,
no, if you hit Q and you know how there's that cast time,
yep,
if you get hit with it in that cast time, it won't activate. So it
yep.
doesn't sound like when she's in the phase in the void it cancels it, even though that would have been dope as hell too. Will now prevent Mirage cloaked revive, Mirage decoy control activation, Lifeline combat revive. So
Oh,
Revenant
damn.
is yeah.
He is
So
the
will
ultimate silencer.
he cancels everyone. He's like, fuck you, you guys don't have abilities. This is
Yep.
COD now. We're playing Call of Duty now. Yeah, Willis. So pretty much for the sake of posterity, uh, Octane just can't be slowed down when he hits Q, as far as I understand it. And they removed range on Death Totem. So Death Totem now you get half of your health back when you get shot, when you get brought back to Totem. So it's no longer 1 health, you get 50, right? And now there's no range on it, but there's still a timer.
Yep.
So you have
Which
to, which is great though. If you use that in conjunction with Wraith, Octane, or Pathfinder, you can be well out of harm's way, pop those abilities, and just fucking dunk on people.
Yep. And that was one of my biggest complaints with Death Totem is you tried to be tactful on where you deployed it. So, because you didn't want to deploy it out in the open because it can be destroyed. So you deploy behind a building, try to run into the fight, and you'd end up, getting out of range, and the effect would
And it was
cancel.
so easy to counter at first because you could just leave a caustic trap at it, and since you respond with 1 health, it would just boop pop you
Yep.
one time, and you're knocked. Your whole team
Yep.
would go back there. Caustic gets a team wipe.
Yep.
So Crypto got buffed. Tactical deploying Crypto's drone now takes 1.5 seconds. From 2.5 seconds. It really took almost 3 seconds to use his drone. That's
So
disgusting.
yeah, I would say that that would be okay to change that, but they need to increase the time that he actually gets his drone back when it gets destroyed.
I disagree. I think because Crypto's nothing without his drone, right?
That's true. So what is the cooldown? So like if it gets destroyed in battle, right? Which is kind of difficult because it flies super fast. Maybe give it some more health, but if it gets destroyed, he can
40 seconds.
almost respawn it. Really, 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that
So
does seem like a long time.
yeah, it is a long time. Trust me, you don't really play Crypto a lot, right?
No.
Yeah, when you fucking get your drone shot, you feel like it's forever. You're like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's about as long as Pathfinder's grapple. Grapple's 35 seconds now, right?
Okay, so maybe that's fair. So it seemed like in the past that he's been able to respawn it again pretty quickly. But 40 seconds, that's fair.
Um, and then his EMP now disables Watson's pylons, which I feel like it should have been the whole time. So that's good. Crypto
That's
slowly getting up
yeah.
there too. That's really good because you want more counterplay. You want legends to be able to counter other legends, and that's been my gripe with Caustic this whole time is that there's not other than shooting his little teeny tiny little penny sized red space, which in the middle of a fight like you're gonna have a bad time, shooting it. There's no really other way to counter it. You can't frag it, which I think is a perfect way to deal with it because you're wasting resources on dealing with one trap when there could be many. You know,
Yep.
um, I just think that there should be more counterplay between the legends. Like look at Revenant. They're building around counterplay. They want Revenant to be able to counter other legends. There should be other tools in the game that let you counter under other legends.
Yep, I agree. So it disables pylons, but not her ultimate.
What would be neat is if either Revenant or Crypto, if they're either EMP or Crypto's Q took away Gibby's shield, his dome.
Yeah.
Crypto's ultimate should take away Gibby's dome. Revenant already cancels the arm shield, right? So that's good. I think he already
Yeah.
cancels the arm shield. So that makes sense. I would like to see Crypto's ultimate disable the dome. Because anything that's electronic like that, just fucking delete it.
Right. It makes sense for an EMP to affect that for sure.
Yeah. Loba, Tactical Burger's best friend will no longer be intercepted by Watson's interception pylon. Watson's getting nerfed pretty hard.
Yeah.
Just I haven't even gotten to her yet. I know Willis kind of mentioned it earlier, but just by factor of her not affecting as many things, she's getting nerfed passively.
Yep.
So Burger's best friend not intercepted by Watson's interception pylon. Ultimate Black Market Boutique Ultimate will now pick up only one stack of ammo rather than one stack plus the amount that was required to fill whatever partial stack you had in your inventory. Ultimate accelerants give more charge now. Read the patch notes for the legends after. Isn't that what I'm doing? Reading the patch notes for the legends right now. Mirage Tactical. You can now hold the tactical button and release to auto control decoys. I don't know what that means. You can now hold the tactical button and release to auto control decoys. I haven't played
Yeah,
Mirage
not
since
sure
the
what that
patch,
means.
so I don't really know how this works. It sounds like maybe before you had to hold the tactical button to control the decoys, but now you can hold it for a certain amount of time, release it, and you don't have to hold it anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Decoys will now say lines when shot. Okay, nice.
Why? I don't understand.
Maybe
What's the need for that?
I don't know, more character. Passive, when cloaked, Mirage hollow emitters will be visible to players that are less than 5 meters away. When cloaked, Mirage's hollow emitters will be visible. Oh, the bug
So
fix. Okay.
is that a bug fix or is
No, no,
that?
no. That's what Willis meant to talk about the bug fixes.
Oh, gotcha.
Hollow emitters. Does this mean when he says? Does this mean he's nerfed?
Yeah. So this to me this was a nerf because when he would res someone, he would go invisible, right? And so you really had no way. You could hear it, but you didn't know where it was. And so
So you have to
this
be
is
close.
a nerf to me.
You have to be
You
close.
have to be close. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
Yep. I agree.
Skydive will now create decoys for entire squad.
Ah.
That's spoopy.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, Gibraltar got nerfed. Fast shield down to 15% faster instead of 25%.
Good.
Caustic enemies can cancel Caustic's barrel by shooting it before it's fully inflated. That's almost inconsequential to me. You're almost never there when he throws it.
That's true. Most of the time, yeah. There needs to be some other counter to it. Like to your point, either grenades or thermites. Something should have a counter to it.
Huh. Watson's
Maybe
pylons.
not all grenades, but a specific grenade.
Yeah, I agree. So Watson's pylons only last for 90 seconds. Watson
That
can
seems
now
like a huge nerf.
Watson can now have up to 3 pylons out at a time. Watson can stack 2 ultimate accelerants per inventory slot. So they really want Watson to use ultimate accelerants. Because they're giving her the opportunity to carry more. because you can stack them now specifically for Watson.
Yeah.
Um, that seems fair because a Watson's still going to be annoying in high tier gameplay. Um, in high tier gameplay where people are coordinated and defending a position, if Watson has 2 stacks of ultimate accelerants, like that's four that's four ultimates, and that's 360 seconds of just straight ultimate time. That's a lot to hold a position with, and it's really not that hard for her to cast, for her to take an ultimate accelerant. You know what I mean? In that defended position. So I like it. I think because Apex isn't a game that's supposed to be played that passively. There's supposed to be movement and stuff, and like a lot of people when Watson first came out really didn't like how much it slowed down the game when you were pushing. So I like that they're kind of trying to re-up the tempo for the game.
So this basically means that she can stack her ultimate, right?
She's
So
always
she
been
can
able to
have.
do that.
Okay.
You've always been able to have more than one out, but now you can have three instead of two.
Right. But they only last for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Whereas before they would last indefinitely and they charge up your things faster
Right.
and they'd
Right.
stack that charging. Increasing Wraith's tactical cooldown has proven to be ineffective at curbing her exceedingly high win rate and kill rate. These changes are meant to disincentivize Wraith players from using Phase Walk as a get out of jail free card and move it into more of a positioning scouting ability. Phase Walk. Okay, so this is even. She gets hit harder based
Yeah.
on the Revenant ability
Yep.
because now it takes more than double the time to cast it. It takes like 3 times the amount of time to cast it. It takes 1.25 seconds to cast Phase Walk, and she moves 20% slower.
Yeah. I mean, it was a huge bonus. It was like a get out of jail free card. I can't tell you how many times, you're close to downing a wraith, and she just hits phase walk, and she's out. I mean, granted, you can track her, and for the most part, and catch her when she gets out of phase walk, but I think this is a legit nerf.
Okay,
I
so
think it's
I
needed.
read that. I got a little ahead of myself when I read it. So while she's casting it, she moves 20% slower. While
No,
she's
I think while she's in it,
No,
she
no, no,
moves
because
20.
look, because it says while in phase walk, Wraith now gets a 30% move boost.
Oh, okay,
So
you're right.
while
So
she's
while
casting
she's
it
casting,
for
a
almost a
20%
second and a
slower.
half, yeah, she moves slower.
Yep.
So it's almost like a hard cast. She's hard casting this ability. She zips, boom, she moves somewhere 30% faster. How long does it last? While in phase walk, the Wraith can now see other players while in the void.
Now lasts 4 seconds from 3 seconds,
Okay, phase
and they
walk
reduce the
cooldown
cooldown.
is reduced to 25. I kind of like it, um, because now that you can see the enemy, you can kind of use it in a slightly more aggressive way for repositioning, as they said earlier. Like you see the team. Let's say you use a Bloodhound uses Q. You see a team you want to engage. You want to go take the high ground. You hit Q. You can see the enemies as you're rotating. Prepare for it. I still am not sure how long the time from after the phase walk ends that you can bring up your arms, your weapons, but it allows you to reposition aggressively. And I think it's
Yep.
now they're coordinating it to make it a more offensive ability versus such a strong defensive one because it makes it if you get popped, you get deleted, you get cracked by
Yep.
something, you're not going to be able to hit Q. You can't stand there for a second and just get fucking deleted.
Yep.
So you have to use it offensively or it's like an aggressive scouting ability. I like what they did.
Yeah. So not to like um cross lines into other games, but Warcraft did a similar nerf for mages. They had their invisibility
Uh-huh.
um spell where initially it was an instant cast where as soon as you hit it, you popped into invisibility immediately. But they nerfed it, so once you popped it, there was like a phase in period of I think 2 seconds where you were still visible before
Mm,
the spell actually kicked in. So it sounds very similar.
yeah. Phase time will decrease distance for portal placement. That feels like it was unnecessary to me. Um, yeah, that just feels kind of unnecessary.
So notice who's missing from this list. Who didn't get any updates?
Bangalore.
Yeah.
Bangalore's gonna be well. You know, I think she's gonna be strong now. People are really gonna like her now, because now that Wraith's gotten nuked the way she is, Bangalore does what Wraith does, kind of, but in just a different way. Where she moves
Yeah.
faster when you get shot, she can
She's still
obscure their
visible.
vision with their smoke.
Yep.
I think Bangalore might be the next Wraith. I'm calling it now.
We'll see.
Now, does that mean Zach's going to be really good? No, because Zach still can't hit anything with bullets, but he's going to be playing the best character.
Oh.
A cooldown a cooldown will be applied to re-grabbing zip lines without touching the ground. Okay. Okay, sorry ACU. You got nerfed, bro. ACU has this whole YouTube video about Apex movement. And it has to do with zip lines and shit. So he got nerfed.
Just
ACU got nerfed.
spamming zip lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Cooldowns will increase with each time a player disconnects and regrabs a zip line. A cooldown will reset when the player touches the ground. Okay. They just don't like the way people play with zip lines, I guess.
Yeah. I get it.
Too much fun in the sun.
Too easy to bounce away up a zip line. You could just, zip down, peek, zip right back up.
I personally didn't abuse zip lines very much. I don't know if that makes me bad, so this doesn't really affect me.
But I saw a lot of people who did.
Yeah. Greatly increase.
So
they've nerfed the Havoc again?
Yeah. Interesting. And the initial shots again. So sounds like the initial wind up.
This shit's gonna be like an elephant rifle. Like every time you fucking shoot it, you're gonna be looking straight into the sky. I don't know why they keep nerfing the Havoc.
I kind of agree with them on this, especially the decrease in magazine size. There were just too many bullets.
It is another path nerf, you're right. I don't know, dude. The Havoc didn't even feel bad to me 2 patches ago. It was strong, but like it didn't feel stronger. Sure. It didn't feel stronger than the R301. It felt a little bit better than the flatline just because you don't need attachments. I think what they could have done is take off this new horizontal recoil and just decrease the mag if they're not happy with it. I don't know why they're not happy with it. The gun's like shit to your close range now.
Yeah.
I don't know what they want it to be. I think they're really trying to pigeonhole it into this fucking DMR with the select fire. But
yeah, to make it like a pseudo sniper almost.
Yeah, but even then the damage fall off is pretty extreme at distance.
Yeah, and it kicks pretty hard too. It's hard to make a shot.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're like making it a shitty energy longbow that has like. And on top of that, there's a fucking windup.
Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, you can time that out, right? So you can hear when people are getting close by, and you can pre-wind.
But they can also hear the wind.
True.
So like. Rechamber time on the Sentinel got. I fucking hate. I gotta talk about the Havoc. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know why they keep doing this to the Havoc. Maybe, yeah, it just feels really bad. I don't know. The Havoc was my favorite gun 2 patches ago. Maybe because it was strong, but it never felt stronger than the R301 in my opinion. R301 was a laser. You get a purple barrel on it. R301 has dope ass hip fire from close range. This gun just feels like it's literally not good in anything now. I mean, I haven't felt. Well, it says greatly increased, and the recoil on it's already fucking many. You know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what greatly increased recoil means.
Man, and now they decreased the magazine size, so those first 3 shots where you're bucking like a jackass or a donkey, like you're just gonna miss more bullets. You have whatever. All right, I'm not gonna rant about the Havoc. Sentinel rechamber time 1.75 to 1.6. That's a buff. Energized duration is a buff. Sentinel is king of snipers. I'm calling it.
Meh.
What, the longbow?
No.
Longbow's garbo. If the longbow didn't need a barrel, it'd be better.
I still prefer the TT.
That's true. But I just when you crack someone with a Sentinel and you just put another round in, dude, you're just like, I'm ready for business.
Oh, quality. Dude, yeah. It hits hard if you can make your shot.
And now that Energized lasts so long, lasts 2 minutes. That's a long time for 2 shield cells. That's a long time.
Yep.
Teammates can now ping a friendly caustic trap. New health bar for when users are Revenant Shadow form. Map rotation times are now even. Okay,
That's good, I guess.
fine. It's fine. Bug fixes general. Fix an issue with some railings not being climbable. I will see how that works. I'm sure someone's going to make a YouTube video about all the railings that weren't climbable, and now suddenly we can. Um, Fix an issue with being. The reason why I did that voice is because all the Apex YouTubers I watch are British, so or English or whatever. They're across the pond. Fix an issue with being unable to mute squad before Legend Select. Thank God. Removed more exploitable spots against Prowlers and Bloodhound.
I
Didn't
don't know
ever
what
do
that
that.
means.
Yeah, I didn't ever do that. Fix issue with loot spawning in unreachable places. Didn't really experience that too much. What's the Havoc supposed to be, Willis? So for me, the Havoc was a very strong out of the box gun that you didn't need attachments for, and was like, it was a mid range. It was pretty much like the best gun you can land with at mid range. At long range, it was just okay. The damage fall off from the select fire was pretty substantial enough to where you couldn't really just nuke people down from far away.
It had a huge magazine.
It has a huge magazine, but like the reason why I felt like it was so strong at medium range and not really anything else is because the windup, the initial kick, and the rate of fire. At medium range, the initial kick and the rate of fire made it to where you can, after the first couple of shots, you could control the recoil, and you were very strong at mid range. Close range, between the windup and the rate of fire, it just wasn't strong enough to compete with like a R99 or a Prowler, like, and the accuracy just wasn't there for it to compete. So it really had this niche of being pretty strong mid range, and it could do a little bit at distance, but not too much, right? But now they're making it to where like they're making it so the recoil at long range is just substantial. Oh, what are they trying to make it? I don't know what they're trying to make it. Sounds like they want people to use the select fire because they're persuading people away from using it in the automatic fire mode. But they haven't buffed the select fire at all. Maybe the select fire rate of fire should be buffed. But I don't think anybody's going to use the Havoc in the next patch. I think people are going to grab that gun, go to the edge of the fucking map, and throw it off.
Yeah,